Good morning, everybody, and a happy Monday morning for you. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I am feeling better. Thank you so much for all the messages. All right, we really just have one main story, but before we get into that story, I have two short updates for you. Shocking. So let's just jump in and cover, shall we? Let's go. I'm just going to start off with this quick update. For those of you who don't know, Harry has lost another board member from Sentebale, Baroness Chalker. She apparently joined quite some time ago, and after 18 years, she has now resigned. He lost Johnny Hornsby last year after 11 years as a trustee, 5 of where he was the chairman. Then Andrew Tucker last week, who Harry calls Tuck, stepped down from his senior position. Something is going on. We just aren't privy to it yet. All right, let's move on to our next, update. So let's look at these pictures again really quickly because there's definitely been some photoshopping going on again, all right? So look at this picture, then look at the position of Meghan's arm and look at the hair on it. That literally looks like a man's arm has been attached to the picture. So I thought, I wonder if maybe she forgot to get her arm waxed. A lot of women do that. They wax the hair off of their arm. But even in this picture, her arm still looks hairy to me. All right, let's go to picture number 3. You guys see her arm. And once again, the arm looks hairy to me. Maybe not as hairy because of the light, but I think that's what it is, guys. She did Photoshop. Then you look down at the feet. So the first thing was the guy. I think he's wearing a moon boot. It's something we put people in when they break a foot. And I couldn't help but notice the toe. I don't think any pictures aren't Photoshopped. You remember this picture where she's hanging on to the hairdresser guy? Look at his hand. Nobody's thumb is that naturally long. And then when you zoom in on one of her pictures, like look at this picture. First of all, the only thing natural is the vein in her forehead. But look at the teeth. Look at her lips. This has been manipulated. Her left, our right eye, the eyelashes are missing. And her hand just sort of disappears. Look at her knuckles. That's so Photoshopped. Everything is Photoshopped. Did you notice they've even removed 99.99% of the freckles on her hand? And before anybody denies it, here is Meghan showing off new baby Archie, supposedly. Let me zoom in on her hand. You see all the freckles, all the moles all over the back of her right hand? But suddenly, here's her right hand smooth as silk. So yes, these pictures are all manipulated, every single one. FYI, just as a small little thing, remember this picture where she's crying with the flowers? They're saying in the articles that those flowers were from Meghan Markle's personal garden. She cut them personally. All right, let's move on. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. We know that Harry's legal case is still going on against the Sun. And now Harry is trying to drag Queen Elizabeth's most senior courtiers into the court case. Now, for some reason, the judge has agreed that Harry should see emails to and from Lord Christopher. I think it's pronounced Geidt, G-E-I-D-T. He was the private secretary to the Queen until 2017, and then he was succeeded by Sir Edward Young. So according to Harry's lawyers, the courtiers had quote-unquote high-level discussions with newspaper executives in 2017 about receiving compensation and apologies to the entire royal household, including the Queen, for unlawful information gathering. This is going to make things worse between William and Harry, because remember, Harry, who in my opinion is severely paranoid, has previously claimed that William got money from the newspaper due to a secret deal, and Harry was cut out of it. Supposedly, King Charles tried to discourage Prince Harry from suing the Sun publisher. That's right, he's even pulling King Charles into this mess. Remember, part of Harry's case was that the palace tried to block Harry from bringing the case. And reading from a passage in Harry's case, the judge, remember he's Mr. Justice Fancourt, said that Harry claims his father and the royal family's law firm acted to discourage and stymie him in the bringing of his claim. So David Sherborne, the attorney for Harry, who's probably shopping for his 3rd vacation home by now due to the amount of money he's gotten from Harry. I mean, let's be honest here, guys. He said in court that emails showed that Queen Elizabeth personally approved threatening the publisher with legal action if it didn't respond. Now, this is where I get confused, because Mr. Sherborne read out an email from Prince Harry to William and Palace Age urging them to support chasing up the publisher of The Sun. Didn't Harry and Meghan Markle both claim that their emails were auto-deleted after 30 days? How come suddenly all these emails are available? It looks like there's a string of emails between palace officials and executives, for The Sun. And Mr. Sherborne said they show there were discussions about the newspaper paying compensation and saying sorry to members of the royal family who'd been hacked. He says, but obviously there's more emails, and obviously we must have access to these emails, these private personal emails that belong to the Queen. Of course, the publisher says this is ridiculous. We haven't done anything wrong. And looking for these emails so close to the date trial, which is in January, would be, in their words, disproportionate, time-consuming, and costly. But the judge has acquiesced to Harry's request and has ordered the newspaper to search for further messages. In the meantime, other people like Melanie Brown, the former Spice Girl, Hugh Grant, Baroness Doreen Lawrence, they've all settled out of court and they've walked away from the case. So the only two cases that are still active are Harry's and former Labour Deputy Leader Lord Watson. There's a 6 to 8 week trial that's going to start in January, although Mr. Sherborne said previously that it was likely all claimants would be forced to settle because they could be left with huge legal bills if they reject a settlement offer, even if they won at trial. So to sum it up, Harry wants those emails, and again, he's claiming that William and, Charles were involved, and this is just going to ruin any chance of a reconciliation. Even if I thought one could happen, this is just ridiculous. Now, in the middle of all of this, Meghan Markle is, of course, trying to distance herself from all of this mess. And an ex-employee of Archwell said that Meghan supports Harry 100%, but she wishes he would let go of these lawsuits to be happy and live in the moment. Quote, she wants him to be free of all of this, but she also knows that because of everything he's been through and his love for her and the children, he can't. She wants him to live in a world where he is not burdened by this. Are you kidding me? Of course, it just makes him look more unhinged, which will just, help her out in the divorce. I have to agree with what I heard online. It's really sad when you look at Harry and the way he used to interact with William and Catherine and their heads together and the mental health charity that they were doing compared to the way he's behaving now since he married Meghan Markle. And I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. She's not responsible for his behavior. I think he's always been a jealous little git. I think she just, by marrying him, gave him the space to show who he really was. Now, keep in mind, while all of this is going, Harry is still fighting his father's government for the Home Office to reinstate his tax-funded police protection for his family after they were stripped of it when they left their royal duties in 2020. He's not going to win that case. He's lost. Then he got permission to appeal. Then he tried to appeal again, and then he's lost on 3 of the 5 points. He's not going to win. What Harry wants is the perks of being a royal without having to do the work of a royal. One of the perks of being a working royal was the full-time security. You don't see Beatrice, Eugenie, Zara, Mike, or anybody else getting protection, full-time protection, unless they're working. Neither does Andrew, neither does Anne and Sir Tim Lawrence. None of these people get that protection. And while people are always talking about how lovely it would be if with the new year, Harry and William could, somehow move their relationship forward, it's being said that it's absolutely not going to happen while Harry insists on pursuing this court case against the UK for his security because his decision is possibly affecting the king. This puts the king in real legal jeopardy. He cannot be drawn into any discussions with Harry about a legal dispute with his own government. So it makes potential meetings very awkward. And William, of course, has shown zero interest in rekindling a relationship with Harry. He's looking forward to a new year with his wife getting better from her, battle with cancer. What's being alleged now is that Harry wants his kids to have some of the experiences of growing up in the UK, to hang out with grandparents, to hang out with cousins. But let's be honest, that's absolutely not going to happen. I think Harry has realized the penny has dropped, that his children will have no royal roles whatsoever. And William actually could just cut Harry from the family altogether. They're just going to be out and about, they're not going to have a royal role at all. I gotta be honest, I don't think Harry and Meghan took 2 seconds to think about how their behavior was going to affect their children. They were so self-absorbed, they didn't think about it. Now you should know, after Mr. Gettr stepped down, Mr. Young stepped up, and then he stayed to help King Charles. He then stepped down, and he was given, my goodness, granted a peerage, appointed a Lord in Waiting, a Knight Grand Cross of the Order of the Bath, and a Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order. He served 2 monarchs, and not many people can say that. So he's going to be pulled into this too, I have no doubt. All right, you guys, I'm going to keep an eye on this situation, but okay, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Go down into the description box after you've left your comments, and you'll find the link to video number 2 for today. Follow me over. Let's go.